Hey, what's going on, guys? So I wanted to do a video today on just general things that I would like that I would have liked to know. I would have liked to know when I first started playing Slay the Spire. This is gonna be a quick Slay the Spire guide. We're gonna start out with a silent because that's the class I know the best. We're gonna start on Ascension 20 because that's where I'm at, and then as I go through, I'm just gonna tell you about why I pick certain cards, why I don't pick certain cards, what to look forward to, like what to watch out for, things of that nature. So, and obviously there are a lot of other guides out there, so if like mine isn't the one that teaches you things, that's cool. I could definitely recommend some channels to go check out. But if it does help you, just let me know. That would be really sick and I'd appreciate it. So we're gonna start with the silent. I'm running Ascension 20. Here's a list of the debuffs. So if you guys are already at this level, then this isn't something that I need to go over. But if you're not, then the further into Ascensions you go, the more difficult the game gets. Ascensions 1 through 10, the debuffs aren't too bad. It's mainly just making your enemies harder. But 10 plus really starts getting difficult. I definitely think they scale pretty exponentially as far as after 10, the debuffs. But yeah, so here's our options. Remove a card from our deck, obtain a random common relic, lose 6 max HP but transform 2 cards, lose my starting relic, and obtain a random boss relic. So right off the start, I don't want to remove a card from my deck. And the reason is the silent struggles really early in the game for damage, so you don't want to remove something. If anything, you'd want to remove like a defend if you really wanted to choose this, just that way you got more damage more consistently, since we already have things like neutralize and survivor. Even though neutralize does damage, I consider it a defensive card because it gives us weak, and I consider it crowd control, but it's just a debuff. So that if it debuffs our enemy, I consider a defensive card for the most part, because that's mainly what it's going to be doing, or mainly how we're going to be using it. Like 3 damage is not gonna, most of the time, it can help on the first couple of fights of the first floor, but after that you're not using it for damage, you're using it for weak. So I would not want to remove a card from the deck. Obtaining a random common relic, there's very little like downside to this option. Worst case, we essentially did nothing, but we got a common relic, so almost all common relics do something. But worst case, it doesn't really affect us whatsoever. Best case, it's one of the better common relics, right? Lose 6 max HP. I don't like this, especially not as a silent where you start out with really low max HP. I don't like to really test the water like that. If you feel comfortable doing it, then absolutely do it. I don't like it. Plus, I don't think transforming 2 cards is good, just because it's super RNG. And then, so both these are RNG, right? But this one comes with a price of 6 max HP, and this one comes with no negatives. So that's why I don't like this third option. Lose your starting relic, obtain a random boss relic. This has some pretty good upsides, but I think Ring of the Snake is really good. And if we get upgraded Ring of the Snake, where we get 1 extra card draw every turn, that's pretty powerful. It helps with deck consistency, and more cards is always good in card games. So yeah. And it's actually like lose a relic to get a relic versus just getting a relic. So, based off how I've been describing, I'm pretty sure you guys can guess what I'm going to pick, but I'm going to go for a random common relic. Alright, so there we go. So, looking at the layout of the floors is something that I've always been bad at, but there are a couple things even I know to look out for, so I'm going to tell you guys what those are. So, some things that I really like to look out for are elites, right? So, the silent is not good on the first floor. It can be if you get some really strong early game pickups like every other class, but more often than not, it's going to struggle on the first floor, start to pick up speed on the second, and then be very dominant by the third if you make it that far. So I don't want to face this guy early on. And we got Mob Bank. So Mob Bank's a really good common relic. It'll help us in shops. So we want to make sure not to buy anything in these first shops if we go these ways. So we want Mob Bank to really provide us some much needed value. And I don't know if you guys know this, but whenever you stop in a shop, if you see something that's there that you can't buy that you really want, it will not show up later. Or relic-wise. Relics will not show up twice. So if you see it in a shop and you can't buy it, that's it. You're not going to get it for the rest of the run. So that's why I want to avoid going to shops. Now, and we want to avoid this guy. So all of a sudden I want to stay over here. So I could go like this way. And we're still staying away from that. And then we can hit this, right? And the thing is with that, let's see, there's a lot of regular fights. It's just a lot of fights in general and only 2 question marks. So that kind of sucks. And elite. Yeah, it's kind of a lot. We'll see. Let's see about this way. Oh, that's even worse. So like These two paths are the best paths. I like this. I like having a lot of question marks at the beginning to try and get some like early game gold and stuff like that. But since we have ball bank, I guess we'll try to go over here, get these, and that's still 3 question marks, so we should be fine. All right, let's go. All right. So I like to kill this dude right here so that he gives us frail. This guy weakens us, and this one gives us frail. And frail's a lot harder to deal with than weaken, from my experience. Oh, he gave us frail. That's interesting. Maybe I had it backwards. So we could block for 6 and attack for 6, which I think is going to be the play. We could fully block there, but then we wouldn't get anywhere, in my opinion. So I'd rather go ahead and get this damage in. Only take 1 point of damage and then be able to kill this guy. Alright, sorry, I saw that Twitch mod on. So we have Cloak and Dagger, Footwork, and Sneaky Strike. So because the Silent is pretty bad on damage early, I'm more inclined to take Sneaky Strike, but we don't really have a way to consistently discard, which kind of sucks. Footwork provides so much value just because dexterity is really strong in this game. Making sure all of these like block for more is really helpful. Cloak and Dagger, however, provides us with both defense and offense, which is something we need right now. So I'm probably going to take Cloak and Dagger, even though Footwork is so good. If it was later on and I had another damage card, I would 100% have chosen Footwork. Alright, so now we pick a card to upgrade. Basic cards, special cards, right? So I definitely want to upgrade one of these 3 because they have the largest benefit. Like this is 3 damage, 3 block. This is 3 block, but it's for a lot more. This is for 1 damage, but another weak, which is really good. This allows you to stack weaks. So if you can stack weaken on a target, that's really good because then they're never going to hit you for their actual value. This gives us an extra 4 damage. So we can upgrade Cloak and Dagger and get more block than defend and more damage than a strike in 1 card, which is very good, right? So that's what I'm going to upgrade. But you can make an argument for weaken as well. For neutralize. And if you pick neutralize, like, that's not a big deal. You can do that as well. 0 cost card always gets played. So I like to judge things, judge my turns based off what I know is going to be played every single time, right? So I'm going to attack once, no matter what. It's only if I play this second attack that is 100% or not. So I could take 1 damage and attack again. Try to get this guy down. Excuse me. Or I could block twice and not take any damage. This guy scales, so I'd rather take 1 damage and try to get some damage in now versus waiting too long. So now he's buffing and blocking. So unfortunately we didn't get another attack, but that's quite alright. Block for 9. So now he hits a lot harder. So like Cloak and Dagger in this situation is the best card. Like it is better than a strike, and it's better than a defend. So that is getting played, right? So another thing is, can we kill with these? And we can't, so we definitely block, and we just get a little bit of damage in there. Sadly, we take 6, but it's perfectly fine. And we fully defend. Right, so that was a kind of play at how it is turn. Right, so okay, 6 kill. Pretty easy choice. Alright. Blade Dance, Sucker Punch, Poison Stab. These are all really good. Sucker Punch can be good because it can help stack weakness with the neutralize. Blade Dance is good because once upgraded, it's 12 damage for 1 energy, which is very efficient. Personally, I'm going to take Poison Stab, and the reason is because it's a regular attack plus it's poison. So poison is something that's not countered by a lot of mobs and bosses in the game, and it beats a lot of stuff in the game. So I like to pick up poison when I can, just because poison is such a great mechanic. Alright, so we have 30 HP. Are we going to be able to do anything before? Based on this fight, we could definitely survive this fight with 30 HP, and then that can let us know if we're going to heal or upgrade before that elite. Alright, neutralize 100%, strike, upgrade strike 100%, Cloak and Dagger, and strike 100% because he's not attacking, so we need to burn him, right? And see, so like this is where you can ask questions, right? So I think 1 strike's 100% getting played. We don't want to overblock here because he's going to keep scaling. So we might play 1 block, we might play none. And the reason is because there's 3 left. So that's going to be 9 damage. And that's going to be 12. 9 and 12 is 21. So he doesn't die here, so I think we block once. Let's see, he's going down to 9. And that's going to be, well, this is definitely going to get played, right? Then he just dies to poison next turn. Yep. Easy. Now we just pass. Let him die. Alright. Dash. Dash is really good on the first and first half of Second Floor. So he's really good. It's a really good card on the first floor, and it's a great card for the first half of the second floor, but later on it starts to lose value. Finisher is good, especially in conjunction or in tandem with Neutralize and Cloak and Dagger, especially if you can get like all 3 cards in one turn and then any other attack. You know what I mean? Because that's 3 attacks right there, and then that's going to be 18 damage for 2 energy. 18 damage and 6 block for 2 energy is phenomenal. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. That's absolutely wild. So yeah, and then we have Sucker Punch. So personally, I'm gonna take Dash just because we need more early game pressure right now going into an elite fight, and we're gonna upgrade Dash. So, or we could upgrade Dash, or we could upgrade Poison Stab. I think Dash overall is better because it's a block and damage, so I think it's more applicable in a lot of fights, especially Gremlin Knob, which is the one we struggle against the most. The reason why we struggle against Gremlin Knob so much is because a lot of the Silent what the Silent likes to do is play a bunch of skills, so not being able to play skills is very hard. And we block all but 1 damage, and he's gonna die next turn. So that's very good. Alright, so I'm gonna do that. So we could strike or poison stab. Could poison stab in order to go ahead and get his artifact off. I'm not going to do that. We're just going to strike and defend. We could have double defended there, but because these guys constantly put dazes in our deck, I feel like it's beneficial to try and push them a little bit where you can. You don't ever want to take their full damage if you can help it, but you also don't ever want to not do any damage to them. You're just prolonging the inevitable at that point. Let's try our best to kill this guy. And because there's 3 of them, and like the first and third attack at the same time, you want to make sure to kill one of them first. So this kills, and this doesn't. So we're gonna go ahead and kill this guy, and then damage that one. And defend. So once you get down to 1, the fight's pretty easy. It's just making sure you get down to 1. Strike and double defend. That was a really good turn. That was lucky. That was definitely really lucky. Hopefully we can have more turns like that. Can we get to attack next turn? We absolutely can. Game's over next turn. Nice. Bang bang. Too easy. Guardian's down. Meat on the bone. Wow. That's really good relic for the Silent. Silent has trouble healing, so that's really, really strong. Again, Sucker Punch, Slice, Grand Finale. Grand Finale is probably one of my favorite cards in the game. It's really hard to play with though. You have to have no cards in your drop pile to play it. But it's 50 AoE damage, which is really good. And it costs 0. So if you want to try to find a deck and play around it, absolutely go ahead. I'm going to pick Sucker Punch because it has Weaken. And we're going to go from there. So we still have Maul Bank and we still haven't used it, so we don't buy anything here. We just get to keep saving. Preserved Insect is really strong. So it could almost convince me to go here. That's how good that is. But I don't think we're going to get anything. Cauldron's alright. Preserved Insect is great. Footwork is great. Bouncing Fuss is great. But these are common cards, and these are relics I can live without. They're not like live and die relics. Apotheosis is really hard to pass up. Automatically upgrading every card in your deck and upgrade it only costs 1 is so good. That's hard to pass up. Just because it's theoretically infinite value, just because it means we should have 1 upgrade right here where we upgrade Apotheosis to cost 1, and then we don't care about upgrading ever. It just lets you play very risky because you can heal all the time. So we're gonna go for that. Is there anything you want to remove? So when you have things like Strike upgraded, you don't want to remove that because it's an already upgraded card, and this is gonna upgrade stuff. But I like to remove strikes to add more consistency because the damage that I want is I want stacking weaknesses. I want poison. Like those are the things that I want to consistently draw in my deck. Since we've already spent money, I'm gonna get footwork as well because footwork's OP. By OP I mean it just gives you so much consistency, and with Apotheosis. So this is why when our Apotheosis Plus would be really handy because I could play this and then footwork and then Survivor, but we're just gonna play Survivor. So Dex just gives you a lot of consistency in every situation when you need it, and like these runs become so much easier as soon as you have everything upgraded. So he's defending, he's getting ready to flee, so we are trying to pump damage into him, make sure he dies before he gets to run away, and he's going to because of Apotheosis. We killed him. And we get to heal because of meat on the bone. So that's good. So I have Riddle of Holes, 20 damage for 2, Sneaky Strike, and Choke. So we don't really we have dashes at 2 costs, and that's essentially it. So who's the boss? Guardian. I think Riddle of Holes is good for the Guardian. And I think the reason why it's good for the Guardian is because the Guardian has these turns you want to make sure to kill. Or make sure to break and put him back in his defense mode. So having something like that to make sure to break him is a really good idea. Sorry guys, give me 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, so we definitely want to target the guys that are attacking us. Can we one-shot any of them? We can one-shot most of them. That's really good. So let's dash, that's perfect. And poison stab right there to make sure he dies next turn, because he's probably gonna attack for 4 next turn. Usually after they debuff they attack. Alright, so now this does 10 damage, which is still better than 2 strikes. Wow. I think I'm gonna use this black potion here because that's a lot of incoming damage I don't want to take. So let's go ahead and kill this guy. Do this. We're good. We're good. So then I'm gonna go ahead and Apotheosis just to be safe. We will defend and neutralize him. So this guy's attack every turn. I'm gonna clear you here. 9 damage, 13 block, fully defended, so we attack. Easy enough. Alright, we got Dagger Spray, Flying Knee, and Bane. So the good thing about Bane is that it does a lot of damage. And we should have Poison because of Poison Stab, so that's really good. Flying Knee gives you extra energy to play with. Dagger Spray is AoE. AoE is really good. I'm gonna take Bane just because it's super single target heavy, and I like that. We're gonna upgrade Apotheosis finally. And our deck is honestly really good. We have a lot of survivability because of things like Apotheosis, and then we heal off meat on the bone. We're going to neutralize. That's 15, so it doesn't kill here, which kind of sucks. So if we block for 17, 15. We definitely can. Oh, we have a lot of energy to play around with. Okay. Forgot about Ancient Tea set. So let's go Riddle of Holes. Poison Stab to make sure we die. Survive with the defense. Cloak attack. Easy. Easy. Also, I'm sorry guys, my YouTube channel is still small, so I can't upload super long videos. So as soon as we get to this boss and beat the boss, we're gonna go ahead and call the video. And then I'll upload the next floor sometime later. So, because I'm probably gonna pause, take a break. I gotta go get some stuff done for the day, but then I'll come back. Oh man, we got Malaise. What a card. Malaise is hard not to pick up, just because it makes a boss lose X strength and X weakness. X being however much energy you put into it is how many turns, or it's like the number they have. So strength is not per turn. It's like if someone loses strength, they lose that permanently. Weaken is just for a turn. It's for a set number of turns, but it's okay. We're definitely going to take it. It's a fantastic card. Go ahead and go to the shop, see if there's anything. We could get a Deadly Poison, which definitely is good upgraded. We'll pick it up. And we heal. We don't need to not heal, so. And so here's another, that's like the one bad thing about Apotheosis. I don't want to play footwork until I have upgraded Apotheosis. We're gonna weaken and dash. And of course it's sitting at the bottom of the deck because where else would it be sitting? We're gonna go ahead and play Malaise. Yeah, we're gonna go play Malaise. This is a good turn to play Malaise, so we're gonna go ahead and do it. It's gonna debuff us, it's not gonna matter. We're going to Deadly Poison and Poison Stab, get that poison rolling. We're gonna be good. Gucci. Alright, we're gonna defend, and Bane to get that double damage. Still saying defended, but it's still getting as much damage as we can. Deadly Poison, because that doesn't trigger anything, and then we will defend. I think that's the best we could do. We could have weakened there, but I think it would have overall, like, essentially been the same amount of damage, so I don't think it would have been great. Defend and strike. See, I was doing so little damage because we reduced his strength. It's a really good reason. It shows you how good Malaise can be. So we can do 8 and 9, 17 damage, or 13 damage. So we can do 17 damage. Not poison, keep ticking down. Poison is like, it's just so good. Defend, poison step, get the poison up. We want to keep the poison up as much as possible. Double defend. And he dies this turn. Crazy. Easy. Alright guys. Oh, here, I'll go ahead and choose this. So Alchemize, Envenom, and Wraith Form. I think Wraith Form is super good if you have something like Nightmare where you can copy it and then get infinite intangible. Otherwise, I don't think it's good. Or you can offset the lose 1 dexterity. If you have some sort of artifact to make sure you don't have that, it'd be really good. Alchemize is good because potions are always good and upgraded it costs 0. And Venom is good once upgraded. I don't think it's good unupgraded, but upgraded is definitely good. Helps you stack more poison. And yeah, it helps if you have multi-hitting attacks. So things like Bane triggered twice, Red with Holes triggers it a bunch, Cloak and Dagger triggers it a bunch. So good in Venom. Alright guys, thanks so much. What is this? Sorry. I forgot we still have more going on. So Ectoplasm, we definitely want to keep earning gold. Our deck's not complete. The extra energy is great. Attacks that cost 0 to 4 additional damage is awesome. And then Empty Cage. So you want an energy relic, but I think that we should keep getting gold. So normally I take Ectoplasm, but I don't think our deck's complete yet, so I don't want to take that. So I'm going to take Wristblade. And that's the end of Act 1. So I will upload Act 2 in a different video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love you guys. Peace out. If you ever want to check out any of my other content, I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/ArenaSReborn. I appreciate you guys. Also, feel free to join my Discord. I'll make sure to post it in like under the video. Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all. Bye.